Okay. The main purpose to review all of the questions, I think those questions is kind of main core of our, when you guys study sports industry or sports marketing, right? So I just need to, you might be wondering why I repeat the midterm examination question, but that's the main core of sports industry introduction, right? That's why I repeat every question by question, okay? So NBA, you guys thinking about the NBA's globalization, you have to think about the Chinese player and kind of European player, right? So Deng Nowitzki from Germany, Tony Parker from France, right? So actually East Asian player, you guys know Yao Ming, right? So Yao Ming, he's from China, right? Everything is related to the NBA's globalization, right? So who's commissioner of NBA? Actually previously, this year, the commissioner changes. So I mean just almost 20 years, the David Stern, right? David Stern was the commissioner of the NBA, National Basketball Association. He actually tried to make NBA globally famous, right? That's the kind of marketing effort. I mean just all over the world, okay? How about big league soccer? Cost. The big league soccer globalization, you have the kind of comment? I mean just globalization in sports industry, especially the big league soccer. I mean just European soccer. Any kind of Bundesliga, Premier League, any big league, Serie A, Premier League, whatever, right? So you have kind of comments. Yeah, I mean just a big league soccer means the four, you guys know there are the four representative European soccer league, right? So Bundesliga, Premier League, the Serie A, right? So you just need to make a comment regarding the question number one. I mean just that globalization of sports industry, right? So the question number two, okay? So question number one is good enough. The question number two is define sports marketing and briefly explain two components in sports marketing. Marketing of sports and marketing through sports. You guys know the first class, I emphasized the main topics, right? Especially the sports marketing was divided into two sections. Marketing of sports and marketing through sports. But you have to find the difference between two important, crucial concepts. 최진수 학생 이야기해 보십니다. Make any comment? Yeah, so that's why so today's topic is promotion, right? So promotion is one of the marketing through sports. You guys know the marketing mix, right? Product, price, place, promotion, and public relation. Usually, product, when we talk about product and place, that was related to marketing of sports. But promotion and public relation is directly related to marketing through sports, right? So you guys have to know the difference between the marketing of sports and marketing through sports. So number three, briefly explain marketing myopia in sports. Who knows answer for question three? Briefly explain marketing myopia in sports. But the main core of marketing myopia, usually that's kind of mistake of sports marketers in any kind of professional sports industry. Marketing myopia means every time the sports marketer only try to make any kind of profit, just to make profit. They just focus on making profit. I already emphasized the importance of public relation and promotion, something like that, right? So that's the kind of long-term view. But every sports marketer, the working professional sports industry, they just trying to make kind of profit. They just need to make the money. That's it, right? That's a kind of short-term goal of sports marketing. But marketing is not like that. They have to think about the marketing in the long-term view, right? That's the marketing myopia, okay? You guys understand? So question number 4, define the 5 P's of the sports marketing mix. Everybody knows the answer, right? Should we, the answer for this question? You do not remember, right? That's fine. For 5 P's, the product, price, place, promotion, and public relation. Okay, that's the kind of 5 P's of that's we usually call those kind of 5 P's is sports marketing mix. Okay. Let's skip the question 5. Define the SWOT analysis. Question number 6. SWOT, S-W-O-T, SWOT analysis. 백다운 학생, you look like you know the answer for this question, okay? So your face says you know the answer for question number 6. But you guys know the marketing plan, right? So I already gave you guys a lecture regarding marketing plan. That SWOT analysis is kind of situational analysis, right? You remember the terminology situational analysis, right? The SWOT analysis, SWOT analysis, is the representative example when the sports marketer try to have the marketing plan, right? Any kind of sports company has their own unique marketing plan, right? The SWOT analysis is the one of the kind of basic step when they think about the marketing plan. So SWOT analysis, as she said, the S means strength, weakness, O means opportunity, and T means threat, right? They have to analyze their market first, right? That's why we just call situational analysis, right? Regarding the teams and stadium, whatever, everything, right? So there is kind of the environment over there, right? So we sports marketer need to make kind of analysis. That's why SWOT analysis is very, very crucial and important, okay? So, number 7, briefly explain market segmentation in sports. Market segmentation. Nobody knows market segmentation. I just gave you guys tips, right? When you guys took the midterm examination, the market segmentation. 박항 선생님, you have any kind of idea regarding market segmentation? Okay, very close. Everybody listen to his comment, right? So market segmentation is closely related to kind of target market, right? So sports marketer, the first, their topic also related to consumer analysis. Every time there are too many bunch of customers, right, consumers, but marketer has to know analyze the consumer first, right? So market segmentation is a kind of divide of market. I mean, just a consumer group, they just need to separate the consumer group into specific settings. That's the market segmentation. But the main goal of market segmentation is for sports marketer to have target market, right? So everybody knows target market, right? So sports marketer has to focus on target market, target consumers, the first, right? That's the importance of market segmentation in sports. Who is a commissioner of the Major League Baseball? Bud Selig, right? Bud Selig is the current commissioner of the Major League Baseball, okay? According to Forbes last year, 2013, which soccer club is the highest valued soccer team? Huh? Real Madrid? You don't have any kind of confidence. You do? Yeah, Real Madrid is the first, right? The highest valued soccer team according to Forbes. Which club is the second highest valued team? FC? FC Seoul. Okay. Which team is the second highest valued team? Manchester United, right? So Manchester United is the second highest valued soccer team on the world, okay? Which company is the official premier partner, that means main sponsor of the Bundesliga? 저 백정원 학생 얘기해 봅니다. Number 10. I think you got a wrong answer, right? I just remember your answer for the question number 10. I think you made a kind of mistake for question number 10. Which company is the main sponsor of the Bundesliga? Bundesliga is a German professional soccer organization, you know it, right? Which company? Hermes, right? Hermes, H-E-R-M-E-S. H-E-R-M-E-S. Hermes is the official premier partner of the Bundesliga, okay? So, who is the owner of the Manchester United? Malcolm Glazer, right? So you don't have to think about the kind of spelling mistake, whatever, right? So I just give you the point. If you guys have the wrong spelling for Malcolm Glazer, I give you the point, okay? So he is also the owner of American football team, right? That's kind of bonus point. If somebody has the answer for my question, I give the students the extra point, okay? I will give you 5 seconds. The owner of the Manchester United is also, he owns the American football, NFL, right? NFL team. I emphasized it during the class time, right? Host. Tampa Bay? What's the team name? Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay is the city name, right? Nobody knows? Yes, 우리 최진수 학생, he got a correct answer, right? So Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The owner of the Manchester United, he owns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers too, right? He is currently 85 years old. He is actually the businessman. He was born in America, right? So briefly explain the PNR system in sports leagues. Florian, you might be professional about this question, right? Yeah. The PNR, that's your presentation topic, right? Yeah. The PNR means, everybody knows, right? PNR is promotion and relegation, right? Actually, their system was conducted in the European Soccer League, right? Just in American, the professional sports organization, there is no PNR system, right? They have their unique system. That's why we just call their unique system playoff, right? Just European soccer, France, Germany, Spain, every country in European Soccer League, you do not have kind of the playoff system, right? But you just have the European soccer leagues have PNR system instead of playoff, right? But my country, usually in baseball, we have playoff too, right? But the PNR system, we just introduced PNR system last year, right? So our Korea, our countries, the professional soccer league, usually called K-League, conducting PNR system currently, right? Yeah, there are two types of owners in sports industry, 2 and 3 types of owners in sports industry, but mainly the importance is you guys have to know the difference between the profit maximizer and utility maximizer. That's kind of other things, right? Not only making any kind of profit, but also the owner is trying to make any other things, right? Any additional things, right? That's kind of utility maximizer. That's the difference between profit maximizer and utility maximizer, okay? There are representative 2 types of owner in the professional sports league. Your group gave us the example, right? You just focus on baseball, basketball, and soccer, right? The Florian, you remember that's your topic too, right? But 장은지 학생 아닌가요? 맞죠? 장은지 학생. Yeah, please the explain. But try to explain, right? Try to explain. Please do your best to answer the question. Global league means a kind of big league, right? Already exists and there is also famous, right? So everybody knows the league, right? Kind of the example is soccer example, just kind of Bundesliga and Premier League, right? But how about MLS? MLS might be in the niche league. Niche league is kind of very small and tiny leagues, right? But the global league means kind of big league, already famous, and everybody knows that, right? So what is your example, right? So you just gave us the example regarding baseball, right? How about Korean baseball? Korean baseball, we just identified the Korean, our country's professional baseball. So I think that is in the global league. But I think the United States people, I think it's not our country people, right? So people from Korea, we think our Koreans, the professional baseball league, kind of being league, but all over the world, right? So European and United States people thinking regarding our country, the Korean professional baseball, as kind of niche league. That's just my opinion, okay? But kind of different view, depending on people who lives this country or the world, right? But the importance is the European people, right? So you guys do not know the rule regarding baseball, right? So that's the importance of the soccer. Soccer all around the world, right? So everybody they enjoyed watching the game, and everybody knows the rule regarding soccer game. So the soccer game is kind of the globally sports marketing and in sports industry view is soccer is more crucial and important the sports game, right? So compared to other sports, especially baseball, basketball, whatever. So soccer is the most crucial and important sports all around the world, okay? So next question is briefly define the sponsorship in sports industry and explain the example of sponsorship. Especially one of the graduate students made presentation, but he was absent today. But he just emphasized the kind of contract with Samsung with the Chelsea FC, right? Well, somebody have the chance to explain the kind of Chelsea and Samsung FC contract, right? Okay. So I mean, kind of define the sponsorship in sports industry. But you can give us the example, right? So Samsung with the Chelsea contract, right? Okay, that's good enough. Which company is main sponsor of Bayern Munich? Telecom, right? So would you explain the kind of contract the Telecom with the Bayern Munich? So Bayern Munich gonna win tonight, right? I guarantee, right? The last time the Chelsea, right? So you know that, right? So I predict something like that, right?
Yeah, they have to win in the right difference. 2-1 would not be so good.
I mean, I just predicted the same score, 1-0, or 2-1. But score was 2-1. The Real Madrid is going to advance to the next round because the away team, right? So away team's goal margin, right? But probably my Bayern Munich is going to beat the Real Madrid by 1 goal margin, by 1 goal.
And then overtime?
Yes, overtime. So score is the same, so they're going to go to extra time, right? Even the penalty, right? I wish too, right? I wish Bayern Munich go to the next one, okay? For you and your country, okay? Next question, define the Super Bowl and briefly explain the economic impact of the Super Bowl advertisement. Super Bowl, what is Super Bowl? Final.
Not the final match, but the champion like selected in the match.
Yes, the American, the football game, yeah, NFL, right? What's the economic impact of the Super Bowl advertisement? We just covered, right? So before studying our textbook, right? So we just covered the 7 case study, right? 7 articles I chose, right? So that's one of them was, the topic was Maserati, right? So the Italian cars, the Super Bowl advertisement, right? That's why I chose the number question 16, right? The Super Bowl, so you guys have to think about the economic impact. Super Bowl advertisement, that's huge, right? So so Super Bowl, the hosting, right? So Super Bowl is one single game, right? Especially usually the February, first week of the February, Super Bowl game was in the United States, but the city, kind of the host Olympic game and World Cup game, the hosting city, every city want to host Super Bowl game because there are a bunch of crucial and premium economic impact for hosting city, right? That's advertisement too, right? So especially during the break time, kind of the advertisement, not only TV commercial, right? But also the other types of advertisements in Super Bowl games, the economic impact is huge. So every company try to promote their new product through the Super Bowl game, right? That's the kind of the marketing through sports. The marketing of sports is kind of just a sports product and price and place, whatever, right? But that's kind of advertisement was directly related to marketing through sports, okay? Last question, summarize the article. Sports business lesson from Oakland AS FanFest. Describe the main ideas of the article in the sports industry and marketing perspective. Who knows the answer for that? They have the chance to meet famous players and manager, whatever, right? That's kind of promotion event, right? Promotional events. And you already mentioned the importance of public relations, right? FanFest is usually hosted in the pre-season, right? Especially the spring campsite. The MLB team is hosting FanFest. That's the importance of FanFest, right? So we reviewed the midterm question, okay? So I think I did not check your students' answer so far, but I believe everybody tried to do you guys best, right? So I just want to try to give you guys the best score as much as I possible, okay? I will try, okay? I will try to give you the nice points and nice grade. So, okay, I will try to, now I will give the lecture, right? Today's topic, as I already previously mentioned, the promotion. The promotion is what? The one of the sports marketing mix, right? So 5P. Now you guys know the 5P. You guys have to remember the 5 Ps, usually called sports marketing mix, right? Product, price, place, promotion, and public relation. But today, I'm going to talk about the promotion, okay? So objective, to recognize the complexity of promotion with respect to the various forms it can assume as part of the marketing mix, okay? That's kind of objective of promotion, okay? The second objective will be to identify the integral elements of promotion and various approaches used in advertising. That's the second promotion objective, okay? To understand promotion in a historical context and consider how that context has evolved as a result of the importance of media and sponsorship relationship. And last, to recognize the key characteristics of effective promotional programs and campaigns aimed at expanding existing consumer bases and at increasing the frequency of consumption, okay? That's the kind of this lecture, the promotions, the objectives. But first of all, you guys have to know the definition of the promotion, right? So what is promotion? The promotion is the activities designed to stimulate consumer interest in, awareness of, and purchase of the product. And promotion is also kind of vehicles that the marketer conveys information about products, place, and price. The positioning of product and its image in the mind of the consumer, okay? So concentrating on selling the product is the main core of the promotion, okay? You guys know the definition and basic information regarding promotion, okay? There is 4 forms of promotion: the advertising, the personal selling, publicity, sales promotion is the famous forms of promotion, okay? But we usually the AIDA approach. That's kind of main purpose of the promotion, right? The AIDA means increase awareness, attract interest, and arouse desire and initiate action. That's kind of AIDA approach. We usually talk about the promotion. The people thinking about the AIDA approach, okay? Awareness, interest, desire, and lastly, action. In detail, the advertising, the personal selling, sales, promotion, and publicity, I'm gonna talk about later, okay, in detail. The advertising, okay? Advertising, the core of advertising is effective communication, okay? Effective communication. A major problem in advertising is perceptual distortion, it's a misunderstanding. The sports marketer must operate under the axiom that perception is reality. The message is targeted and that is clearly specific so that the receiver comprehends it, okay? So various messages are required for various segments. But you guys know the advertising, right? So I already emphasized the importance of the market segmentation, right? So every group has the different characteristic. That's why the advertising, the sports marketer working for advertising, they have to know, first of all, they have to know the target market. That groups the unique characteristic, right? That's the various segments. You mean the various messages are required for various segments, right? So that's why I just emphasize market segmentation, right? Market segmentation means kind of different group, right? So advertising, the focus on every kind of the various segments, okay? What should advertising accomplish? There are kind of 6 important and crucial goals of advertising, okay? The first one is create awareness, and second, communicate information about attributes and benefits, okay? The develop of change in image or personality, and associate a brand with feelings and emotions, and create known group is next one. The precipitate behavior is the last one, okay? But there is kind of 6 goals of advertising. Advertising is one representative form, right? Usually we talk about the promotion. The advertising is the mainly representative one. You guys know that, right? And then how can we assess advertising effectiveness, right? In order to the advertising to be effective, there are key considerations for assessing advertising, okay? The wasted circulation, the delineation of the target market, an organization must know whom it is trying to reach. You guys understand the wasted circulation? Wasted in circulation, that's very, very important kind of terminology. We talk about the promotion. That kind of terminology also related to target market. So you know the meaning of the waste, right? So wasted circulation. Wasted circulation means the sports marketer knows their target market, right? Target market. But sometimes they do not focus on the target market, the kind of different group, right? So except the target market, they just should think about, they just waste time. The sports marketer needs to focus on target market group, right? For the effectiveness of advertising. But sometimes marketers make kind of mistake. But they have to know the target market group correctly, but sometimes sports marketer made a mistake. That's kind of wasted circulation. That kind of terminology, very close to the waste of time. They have to know the correct group. They will focus through any kind of promotional events, right? For example, advertising. But wasted circulation means right there, okay? The cost per exposure, the measure of cost required to reach one consumer through the various media, okay? That is kind of the two important consideration and kind of standards for assessing and evaluating advertising, okay? But sometimes measurement, how will the organization measure its effectiveness? Think about that. That's very, very difficult because the problem of the time lag, okay? How long does it take for advertisement to be effective? Sometimes advertising, when sports marketer promote their product through the advertisements, they're sometimes very short term, right? They will make a successful story when they use the advertising, the kind of promotional tools, right? But sometimes it takes a very long time. That's time lag means, right? The problem of the time lag, how long does it take for an advertisement to be effective? That's kind of issue, right? So all advertisement may not be aimed at immediate sale. That means some advertising may have an effect over longer time period. That's what I mean, right? So short-term, the long-term period. That's kind of the problem is because there is the problem of the time lag, there is very, very difficult for the organization to measure the advertising effectiveness, okay? Next one is advertising agencies, right? So there is two types of advertising agencies, right? The first one is in-house agents, and second one is advertising agency, right? But that is kind of depending upon the size and type of the organization and creative decision and media decision, and targeting proper market segments and increasing potential for impact, cooperating with research firms, okay? But there is very important requirement for advertising agencies, okay? The first one is they have to get the comprehensive marketing plan, right? So first of all, they have to be interested in the organization's success, right? So comprehensive marketing skills, they also need, right? So they also need to know the targeted approach ability. That's AMB BBDO. That's kind of picture. AMB BBDO is one representative, the advertising agency. That AMB BBDO is a company name, right? So advertising, the agency, right? Well, you guys remember that. The AMB BBDO is kind of the London. Their headquarters is England, London, England. That's not the American company, right? So that's the England company, but they are mostly the very, very famous advertising agency. That's kind of example, right? So that's the picture is 2007 October. There is a kind of Super Bowl game. That's one of the marketing globalization, right? Especially the NFL, National Football League. They usually try to host the preseason game, right, in London, England. Well, NFL is the United States, right, game, but they further globalization internationally to make the NFL very, very famous global, all over the world. They tried to host the preseason game in London, England. At that time, AMB BBDO is represent any kind of the promotional events, right? That's the role of the advertising agency, right? For A and B, BBDO, you just need to remember that, okay? Next one is the advertising communication process, right? The first, the source advertise, give the message to receiver, kind of us, audience, right? So audience got the message, but destination is they're kind of to make their advertising very, very effective, right? But there are two kind of channel tools, right? So media and word of mouth, right? Word of mouth and media is kind of very important to for advertiser to send kind of message to audience, okay? So there are two kind of tools, right? Media and word of mouth. That's kind of advertising, the communication process. Advertising mediums for sports, okay? A sports organization must decide which forms of media to use in advertising campaign. You just know those kind of words, right? So signage, the endorsement, the print media, the broadcast media, and billboards, blimps, and buses, and the internet. In modern society, I already emphasized on the social media marketing, right? So that's why the internet is very, very effective tool, right? For any kind of sports company to promote their products through the advertising. The internet is very, very good and effective source, right? For promoting their product. There is kind of the example for advertising mediums in sports, okay? This one is signage, right? This one is usually in the highway in the United States. We can easily see the kind of the big signage, right? First, signage and the printed message on logos identifying a sponsor or event, right? The banners, street pole advertisements, and billboards, scoreboards, electronic message board, poster is kind of very types of signage, okay? You can see the signage, that's a Major League Baseball game, right? The printed message or logos identifying a sponsor or event, right? The banner, street pole, attachment, billboard, scoreboard, electronic message board, poster, as I already mentioned to you guys. But you can see the kind of the broadcasting, the American baseball, right? Major League Baseball. You can see TrulyLauren.com, and this one I live for this. Those kind of thing is the very representative is types of signage forms. So that's the broadcasting of the Major League Baseball, right? You can see the yellow circle. Inside that, you can see the words, right? That's kind of the example of the signage. Endorsements. There are 4 types of endorsements, right? So there is 4 types of endorsement. That's very, very important. The first one is I endorse this product. Second one is I use this product. The third one is you should use this product, but the athlete merely appears in some setting with the product is the last one, right? So endorsement, what is endorsement? Yeah, endorsement, as you guys said, the endorsement usually used in the sports, professional sports. Any kind of company using very, very famous sports players, right? To promote their product or their company, whatever, right? That's kind of endorsement. The representative player is, you already mentioned Michael Jordan, right? So many companies try to endorse the Michael Jordan, right? Even though it costs a kind of big money, right? Huge money to endorse the very famous player all around the world, but endorsement, they need that because they want to promote their product and their company, right? But endorsement is kind of tool, like advertising. But they actually, you guys mentioned, they're using the sports stars, right? Sports player. The famous example is Michael Jordan and Nike, right? So Nike endorsed Michael Jordan, right? So how about Tiger Woods? You know Tiger Woods, right? The #1 golf player. But there are 2 players is very, very representative example for endorsement, okay? But Tiger Woods, but I think 3 and 4 years ago, Tiger Woods got a kind of ethical wrong scandal, right? at that time, many companies just stopped the endorsement with the Tiger Woods. That's why the Tiger Woods got very, very struggling, right? So Tiger Woods already made the big money, right? He won the tournament a bunch of times, right? So they made money, but kind of Tiger Woods got the divorce and kind of wrong the ethical scandal, right? At that time, many companies stopped, quit the endorsement contract with Tiger Woods, right? But there is kind of 4 types of endorsement, okay? The growing popularity of professional sports has led to the proliferation of the sports celebrity, and fans seem to identify as closely with the sponsors as with the sports itself. The ways to lessen the risk in using celebrity athletes as endorsers and stock option and dead celebrity. What is stock option and celebrity? The ways, think about the sentence first, right? The ways to lessen the risk in using celebrity athletes as endorsers. There are 2 types of the solution, right? Stock options and dead celebrity. As I already gave you Tiger's example, right? So the company endorsed the nice player, but sometimes the player made a mistake because they're the human, right? Human always made a mistake, right? That the endorsement, that's why to lessen the risk in using celebrities as risk, sometimes the company has to give too much money to the player for the kind of just one endorsement, right? That's why they're using the stock. You know the stock market, right? They're using stock, right? They're using stock instead of giving the players big money. Sometimes they're using just a stock, right? That's the kind of protection of the company because it costs too much for endorsing the very, very famous player, right? That's why the stock option will be kind of one solution to lessen the risk in using celebrity athletes, right? So how about dead celebrities? Dead celebrities kind of big example. It's not a sports story, but you know the Mercedes-Benz, right? The Benz, your company's the famous, worldwide famous car, right? The Benz used endorsers. You know Frank Sinatra, right? Frank Sinatra is the singer of the My Way, right? You guys know the song of the My Way, the worldwide, the famous song, right? Because even though he was dead, but Frank Sinatra's image was very, very nice, good, right? So Mercedes-Benz, almost 30 and 40 years, they chose Frank Sinatra, the singer of My Way, as kind of endorser of the Mercedes-Benz. That's kind of dead celebrities, right? That's kind of, I already explained, that kind of the risk of the costing too much money for any kind of company to endorse the player. That's why sometimes using the dead person. That's kind of dead celebrities. There is kind of a solution for solving those kind of the financial problem. Okay? That's the dead celebrity. And the first one is stock option, okay? You guys know the 2 different ways to lessen the risk in using celebrity athletes as endorsers, okay? That's the kind of endorsement picture, right? The Nike and star players. The other method is the print media, right? Print media, the newspapers, magazine and poster and direct mail advertising is kind of types of print medias, right? But then newspaper, you already know, you guys already know that the newspaper is a daily publishing, right? Short advance notice and lower in cost. The magazines and very high quality and usually published in weekly or monthly, right? Though sometimes it's very kind of expensive compared to newspapers. The posters could be controlled, self-financing, but disadvantage of the poster is that sometimes the effect is kind of limited compared to newspapers and magazine, okay? But direct mail advertising, that's the main purpose of those kind of methods is minimizing wasted circulation. That's why I emphasize the wasted circulation, right? Sometimes the sports marketer, they made a mistake. They have to get correct target market, but sometimes they made a mistake. That's why every time sports marketer try to minimize wasted circulation, okay? But the direct mail advertising, through those kind of the methods, the sports marketer will be minimizing the wasted circulation, okay? That's a game or event program. Those kind of three types, okay? Brochure, book, portal. They can pay for themselves and can even generate a profit. In many cases, through the sale of advertising space, okay? That's kind of excellent public relation tool. A point of purchase, usually the briefly POP promotion. Those kind of sentences, the definition of the POP. POP, point of purchase promotion, is often regarded as reminder advertising, okay? Those kind of POP can enhance the top-of-mind awareness of the brand, thus increasing the probability that the consumer includes the brand on the shopping list or purchase it as an impulse item. You guys understand what those sentences means, right? But that's a kind of just a game or event program, right? Think about that. You guys go to a baseball stadium, right? But the sports marketer and kind of the people working for sports organization, they're using the brochure or book or portal in the baseball stadium, right, to promote their product, right? They just want to make the money. They're trying to selling the product, right, to audiences. They just use the kind of print media. For example, brochure, book, portal. For POP promotion is always related to game or event program, right? The broadcast media, there's two represented types. That's the radio and television, radio and TV, right? The radio, it plays to the imagination and let us hear what we wish while letting our minds create a picture that may be based upon past memories, hopeful expectations, or perhaps just wish thinking, okay? The TV is the largest number of the people and it conveys sight and sound. Although it can be expensive, it is a critical and important element of their marketing mix, okay? There's two types of MLB All-Star game, last year commercial, and Arsenal, one of the English Premier League teams, 2012 to 2013, new uniform, new kit commercial. Let's see those kind of clip one moment, okay? I just my question, right? The Arsenal, the people expect the Arsenal will be the first or second ranking, right? In this season, Premier League. Everybody wants Arsenal, the manager, right? So Wenger to resign by himself. No? Well, you know what I mean, right? Yeah, that's kind of the TV, the broadcast TV commercial, right? The next one is billboards, the blimps, buses, and the internet, right? This one is billboards, but this one kind of small airplane to promote their new product. Usually, we just call this one is blimps, right? You guys know the word meaning the blimps? Blimps means those kind of thing, right? The representative example is like that. But skybet.com kind of betting company, that's a legally permitted betting company in the European country, skybet.com. To promote skybet.com, they use the kind of blimps, right? The small airplane to promote their new product or their company, right? To make those kind of websites very famous, right? They're using the blimps, right? They're using the blimps to promote their products. But in Korea, our country, we are not using the blimps, right? But I think in European, but specifically in the United States, a bunch of time I sold the blimps to promote their new event or their new product. They used to use the blimps to promote their product or their company, okay? The purpose of billboard, the first one is to draw attention to the event and message of the advertiser. A second purpose will be to expose more people to the message than would ordinarily be the case as a billboard moves throughout a city on highways and within other high traffic locations, okay? So other effective promotional devices are bus cars, placards on the exterior of buses and take-home boxes, sometimes containing team schedule or ticket applications that are placed in buses, trains, or taxi cabs, okay? But sports organizations commonly use the internet to advertise, to sell subscription tickets, merchandise, and or to broadcast games in real time or to offer information on events. You guys know the Ticketmaster, right? The Ticketmaster is the official, the most widely, the famous, the ticket agency, right? But Ticketmaster.com, especially in the United States, Ticketmaster is very commonly used. The people, they want to buy the kind of admission ticket, right? But they just go to the Ticketmaster.com, the official website. It's very, very easy for customers and consumers to buy any kind of sports events admission ticket, okay? But not only Ticketmaster, but also any kind of sports, the professional company is trying to sell the ticket through their kind of tools, internet tools, right? I mean, just previously, in traditional way, there is no internet, right? They just the selling ticket, the other methods, right? Using other methods. But currently, the internet is commonly, everybody using internet, right? So that's why every time the sports organization, sports industry, the internet, that's kind of the importance of internet, right? To sell the ticket, the company use the internet tools, right? To sell ticket and kind of to promote something like that. That's kind of one of the social media marketing, okay? But that's of the Los Angeles Dodgers, right? So one of the Major League Baseball teams, Dodgers.com. That's the official website of the Los Angeles Dodgers. But you see the ticket, right? So you link the tickets, it's automatically connected to the system for buying the ticket, right? But that's kind of the internet official website. Every time, commonly, the sports teams, professional sports teams using those kind of system, right, for selling and buying the ticket, okay? Today, already 2:45, right? So before my lecture, I already gave you guys the midterm examination review, right? So that's my lecture that's it, okay? Next week, no, next week, the other next week, I will continue my lecture, usually the focus on promotion part, okay? So after 5-minute break, 2:50, the group F is making presentation, okay? The facility, okay? So we'll have 5-minute break, okay?